Hey guys, it's Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Hey, there's a topic that I really wanted to cover with you today because I thought it was really important. And if you've been following the news, I know we're in a ceasefire right now, but the war of Hormuz, what is the financial impact? How does this global conflict impact you as financial or first responders and uniformed personnel? Being in the military, being in law enforcement, being in the financial community, I know that you're thinking about this. And so, for the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about what some impacts you may need to pay attention to. Now, if you're looking at my map here, and I'm going to tell you a story in a minute, but if you've ever been deployed and you've seen the other side of the world, you know things operate differently. Okay. And so if you look over, there's a circle right between Africa, India, Europe, and that circle, be so small, is going to affect the global economy as we know it. So, look, without further ado, be advised that I am a financial advisor, I am a licensed agent. This is for educational purposes only. This is not any political statements or anything of such. I am just going to give you some facts and you do with it what you may. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, you see right here, what is the Strait of Hormuz? Well, first of all, this little area controls 20% of the world's oil supply that passes through it. Now, you may be saying, well, wait a minute, that's a choke point. Yes, on a map in the military, that is a choke point. That is something that's critical to our global oil supply. It is a true choke point, right? Any disruption equals global price shock. I say that again. Any disruption, any talk of, think of, will do, will not do, any disruption is a price shock around the world. And what do I mean by that? Fuel prices. That's what's going to hit first. You see, here's this tanker, right? And it's going through the water. Well, if it can't get out of the strait or it can't move the way it needs to move, gas prices spike rapidly and immediately. So you're going to have increased commuting costs for those of you who don't have an electric vehicle. You're going to be paying more for gas. We're already seeing this around the country. And hundreds of you are going to lose a lot of money monthly to your budget because you're having to spend more for said gas. Inflation is also one of those things I like to say it's a silent killer. Why? Because you're going to notice that your food prices, utilities, goods are going to increase in value or in prices that you have to pay. Your paychecks will stay the same. You'll get paid the first and the 15th or bi-weekly or weekly. That paycheck is not going to change, but you're going to see the price of goods go up dramatically. And I know that we're currently at a ceasefire right now. I don't know how long that'll last or whether it'll be permanent. I hope and pray that it will be. However, these are the things that you need to know that will be affected. And it's going to reduce your purchasing power. We know that from this year to last year, things have gone up. Those people who are planning big purchases, you can look at the sticker shock that some of you have based off of items that you order for overseas. So I just want you to think about this. And then also, you have to look at the operational impact. Having been deployed, which a lot of you on this channel have been deployed some point in your life, You have increased deployments. So normally when we go to war, it don't get better, right? It usually takes a little while to get through. And then for you people that are here back at home, because of the terroristic potential threats, you have longer hours that you have to maintain or work because of events in your communities. Overtime is going to be pushed more. And then I want you to think about this for a second. Your family is going to miss you because you're gone more, but you could, because of this expansion in how much we have to spend for goods and services, you're going to have some financial strain. Now you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, Mr. Financial First Responder. I hear you talk about the Strait of Hormuz. I don't think I'm affected by this. Oh, well, you just wait. Here we go. It's more. Now, I don't care if you don't think you're involved in this or not. It don't have anything to do with you. I done heard a whole bunch of people say, not my war, I don't have to deal with it. Well, yeah, you do, because you got market volatility. See, your retirement accounts are going to fluctuate like crazy. You see these guys, these stockbrokers, investment advisors, we're looking at all this stuff. Them lines, them pretty lines, they going up and down, heads and shoulders, right? We're looking at where this market could potentially go. There's no guarantee whether it'll go up or down. And then you got the emotional investing risk that I can tell you, every time you hear something on the news or you see something in your favorite financial news channel, or you're reading the pink papers, and there are some papers that are pink. Most of us that are financial advisors are aware of those. And usually they have all the tickers, the stocks, everything, bonds, all that stuff. Um, you're basically looking to see where you can help your clients at, right? And for us that are financial advisors, we have a fiduciary responsibility to actually help our clients, right? We're not just selling them something. Long-term wealth disruption. Now, you may say, well, I don't think this is going to affect me. Well, here's the thing. You drop down 20% in the market. Let me explain something to you. Most of you don't realize when you drop 20%, you actually got to go up 40% for you to get back at 100. And you're saying, well, wait a minute, how is that? Because if you drop 20% in the market, if you go up 20%, you at 100. But you want to go over 100, you gotta be at 40% for it to even matter. You don't want to just break even with your investments, do you? At least I hope you don't, right? So you have to look at market volatility. You have to look at your standard deviation, and you got to look at your beta. Now, for some of you, that might have went over your head, but you talk to your advisor, or you call me, and we'll talk about the volatility, the beta. Anything over a 1 is considered more volatile. So I'm just going to say it like this. You need to get with a professional. Okay? All right. Moving forward. The real problem is this. A lot of you have high income, but you got poor financial positioning. Hence the financial positioning system. You lack emergency funds. So if stuff goes wrong, you don't have anything set aside for the emergencies, or as I like to say, the life happens fund. And then you have no structured financial system. Now imagine that if we in the military had all the uniforms, did all the training, but had no equipment. We couldn't move, we couldn't communicate, couldn't shoot. So we always say move, shoot, communicate, right? Or communicate, move, shoot, whatever way you want to say it. If you're missing that piece, this is the time while you're not struggling to get it right. Now, when we talk about the financial positioning system, it's a solution. It's going to talk to you about your cash flow control. It's going to talk to you about the emergency fund, whether you need 3 months to 6 months Or maybe some of you might even say, hey, I know the professionals say I only need 3 months to 6 months, but I would feel more comfortable if I had 12 months, right? That's a decision that you got to make with your financial advisor, right? Or your financial planner. Reducing the debt. We all know that when the debt is high, that's when the stress level is there. But if the debt is low and it's manageable, or you have none, life is gravy. Then you have to take a stance on being a tactical investor. Because a lot of times, you as the tactical investor will allow you to think strategically in ways that you should be investing your money, at least with your partner, your life partner, as well as your financial partner or your financial advisor, I should say. Protection planning. You're going to look at all these aspects that we've talked about over the last couple of um, videos about what type of protection you need, what risk you're willing to accept. Then you need to look at what mitigation tools you have in place. So, with that said, I go to my last slide. Here's your call to action. You cannot control whether there's a war. That is where countries that are involved in it make that decision to go at war. You as an individual cannot control that. But you can control your financial position. You can say, hey, I want to be in the best financial shape I can. Or you can say, hey, it really doesn't matter. I'm always going to be broke. I'm going to stay broke. I'm going to die broke. Or you might have the mentality is it's not where you start at, it's how you finish. Look, this is Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. I want you to make your life great on purpose. It doesn't matter what's going on right now in the American economy. I just need you to start using your brain housing group and figure out how to use the financial positioning system. If what I said to you today makes sense over the last couple of minutes, just say me too in the comments. Put me too in the comments. Leave your email and your phone number, and I'll definitely follow up with you, or somebody on my team will follow up with you, and we'll get you started. All right, this is Mike Barnes, the financial first responder. Please like and subscribe my channel, and just remember, this was for educational purposes only. I'm not here to sell you anything. You already been sold. You need a system. God bless.